Chapter 40. The McGorkles find an apartment in the middle of town, amongst those that are mostly rented out by air traffic control cadets attending the academy in Oklahoma City. This suits Warble fine, thinking that his neighbors will be quiet, spending most of their time studying for their exams. After stowing the minimal possessions with which they've been traveling in their apartment, mostly clothes which easily fit in the rear compartment of their PTC, but also, of course, the priceless notebook, Warble and Mary drive to the Piggly Wiggly down the street to get some groceries. On finding the last item on their shopping list, Warble wheels the cart towards the checkout area. Another couple shopping together stop to talk with the McGorkles. The stranger is intrigued by the items in the McGorkles' cart. He thinks the McGorkles must have a little money anyway to be purchasing these particular items. "Howdy, pard," the big, fleshy stranger says, voice like a foghorn. He's wearing a wide-brimmed white cowboy hat and cowboy boots. Judging by the softness of his hands, though, he has probably never had a rope burn in his life. "Excuse me?" Warble replies a little warily. "Does this guy know me?" Warble looks intently at the man's face. He doesn't recognize the man, so figures he must just be the friendly sort. Probably just a used car salesman or something like that. The man notices Warble's suspicion and tries to allay his fears. "Pardon my nosiness and niceness, it's just part of my nature. I don't recognize you folks. Where are y'all from?" Warble is still leery. "Everywhere and nowhere," he responds noncommittally. The man sees he can't push things too far and makes as if he's about to proceed down the aisle. "All right then, pard, I'll leave y'all alone now. I just thought I might could be of some assistance to y'all. After all, I was born and raised right here in Bethany and know her like the back of my hand. I figured y'all was newcomers here and..." Warble decides he may as well divulge a little information. It surely won't hurt anything. "Wait a minute there, mister. We are newcomers, and I do plan on going into business here." Warble waits for a response from the man. "Well, why didn't y'all say so right from the get-go?" The man beams. He pushes his hat further back on his head and thrusts his hand out. "Dokey sister, pleased to meet you. This hyar is my wife, Salvia." "Saliva?" Warble asks, perplexed. "Salvia," Dokey repeats. Warble is still bewildered. "Can you spell that?" he requests. "Of course I can," Dokey responds, a little miffed at what he perceives to be an insult. Warble hesitates, waiting for Dokey to spell his wife's name. "I mean, will you spell her name?" "Oh," Dokey says, pleasantly surprised. He's only too glad to show off his orthographic prowess. "You betcha. S-Y-L-V-I-A." Dokey's wife, who hasn't said a word until now, comes to the rescue. Her accent isn't nearly as strong as her husband's, and so she is able to get Warble to understand her name. "Oh, Sylvia! Nice to meet you, Dokey and Sylvia. My name is Warble McGorkle, and this is my wonderful wedded woman, Mary." The women nod and smile at each other. Warble's stomach growls, and all of a sudden he's in a hurry to get back to the apartment so he and Mary can start preparing dinner. "Well, it was nice to meet you, Dokey and Sylvia," he says, and bends to the task of guiding the cart up the aisle. "Whoa, hold on there a minute, Warble," Dokey pleads. "You said you was a-wanting to go into business here. I might could help you with something like that." Warble doesn't want to seem rude, but doesn't really think much of Dokey's business acumen based on what he can deduce of the man's intelligence and sophistication, or lack thereof. Dokey may know somebody who it would be advantageous to meet, though, Warble reasons. After some quick sign language with his wife, using his eyes and fingers, Warble somewhat reluctantly invites Dokey and Sylvia to join them for dinner. Dokey readily accepts, and after getting the address of their apartment, he knows exactly where it is, no need for directions, he tells Warble, offers to bring some beer. They plan to meet there in an hour. The sisters will finish their purchases, go home and change, and then meet the McGorkles at their new digs. After dinner, Warble will unveil his wackiest plan yet.